Are we all playing together for Excel? I think so, right?
Yeah, hopefully. If they can get a rescheduled date. Yeah. Maybe by then we'll have more people and it'll feel more like a actual collective.
Yeah.
I think those two boys that I added, they both sing. So like more vocal is probably good.
I know a violinist too that you can. Not that you're excited or anything. Trade all of us for a violinist. It's always fun to have another partner.
To be more comfortable.
No.
Pillows, rug, anything like that?
No, that would be too comfortable.
Yeah, you want to feel a little bit of it, right? Yeah, that's kind of the point. Okay, great. I love it.
Thank you. Though, really appreciate it. Can you give me a pillow? I'm gonna fall asleep.
That was the problem at that rehearsal I was telling you because they just put comforters on the platform. So I was like, what else am I gonna do?
If you feed me,
Yeah.
it's warm. I'm a little tired.
Some like really yummy Gujarati food. Oh, so good.
Yeah. I'll be right back. 15 minutes.
Short now. Can I actually take a look at the program? See?
Oh, you can look first.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, they put the songs.
Oh.
Okay. Great, that's helpful.
All the songs, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We'll play the list. I'm just saying if that's if you feel like playing something else, let's try
Oh wow. Cool. Great.
Looks like Philadelphia celebrates.
Just in case.
Okay.
Because this mic does pick it up, but I don't know how much louder
Yeah.
the violin would be.
The drum doesn't need to be super loud or anything.
Oh, okay,
But,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see because I do think once you guys play, I'll kind of hear it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I might end up turning this one off.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that just in case.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, of course.
Yes. Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Do you need me to move too?
I guess so. That whatever's comfy.
Okay.
It's still visible.
Okay. Good.
So you know, if it's
Even if you want to sit like in the middle.
No. That's too much. You think like this is okay? A little more? Can we actually just move this a little bit now,
Yeah,
that, now that I'm like right here? And I'll turn this off when like other things are happening and then just like put it back on. This one too.
When'd you wake up?
8:30.
That's really big. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
In a good way. That's really impressive. When did you leave the house?
9:20, 9:25. Actually, probably 9:30 is when I left.
Still.
9:29.
So you were here 15 minutes?
No, 20 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. It's actually. Yeah. It'll be right here.
Also, I just don't want it to get moved.
Yeah.
No, see, like, you should be impressed, but not that impressed because I'm really old. But I ironed this a little bit. That was like an accomplishment this morning.
I heard this too. Look like,
That's amazing.
look like I'm holy.
This is the right Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I live like 10 minutes away, so that's like.
From here?
Yeah, Mania.
Oh, great.
Yeah. It was a great drive.
So random. We grew up in Milwaukee together. I know. Okay.
Good morning. It's funny. I'm starting a new teaching job tomorrow, and I'm like, it feels like I'm teaching class right now. Good morning, Mr. Seitz. Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Society of Germantown. My name is Rob Seitz, and my pronouns are he and him. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation united in a common purpose to make love real in our lives and in the world. We are diverse in our beliefs, atheist and agnostic, believers and seekers, and we welcome you here. No matter your race, your class, your gender identity, your sexual orientation, your family structure, your job, or your health. Here, we know that no matter our differences, we are connected by the interdependent web of life. And whether this is your first, raise your hand if this is your first class. All right, thank you. Thank you. 5th or 15th visit, we invite you to introduce yourself to someone at the welcome table, and they would be happy to answer any questions you have about this congregation or Unitarian Universalism. Please complete a visitor card and join us for fellowship and coffee in the dining room following service. And we have a special meal today after the service. As we work to widen access to our community, please note that there are large print hymnals and large print orders of service available at the front of the sanctuary, and listening assisted devices can be picked up from the sound desk, which is over here. We have an elevator for those who need assistance going up and down. Just ask an usher where to find it. It's a little hidden. Gender-neutral restrooms can be found at the bottom of the stairs in the back of the sanctuary, and gendered restrooms are through this door and down the hall. Use whichever feels right for you. And lastly, if you've been coming for a while, please remember your name tags. We say this every Sunday. Most of you have them. If you're new, we have name tag stickers, and it just helps everybody feel comfortable introducing themselves. And for announcements, Hannah's going to do the announcements.
Good morning, USG. I'm Reverend Hannah Capaldi. I serve this congregation as its minister. My pronouns are she and her, and it's good to be with you today. I'm sort of back. This is a little on the fly, but I knew I wanted to be here to support Ramya and Hindus for Human Rights, and it was important to me that you see my face at least as we start to ramp up towards the start of the congregational year. So I have a few announcements, and then I'll offer you your call to worship today. To start, in-gathering will happen on September 7th. That is the first Sunday after Labor Day. It is the start of the official congregational year, and we celebrate it with water communion. So I invite you to come to that service and to bring some water from where you have spent some time this summer, whether that's the pool or the outdoor shower or the sprinkler or maybe a lake or a pond or an ocean, and we'll gather and commingle all the waters from our summer adventures, and that becomes the water we draw from for a lot of our rituals for throughout the year, including our child dedications. So it's our community well. So I invite you to come on September 7th with a little water to participate in that ritual. Sooner than that is Tuesday, September 2nd from 7 to 8. The Persons with Disabilities Peer Support Group is kicking off with their first meeting. If you would like to be a part of that group, if you consider yourself, you self-identify as a person with a disability, or you support someone who is, you can email disabilitiesgroup@usguu.org for a Zoom link. That will be a virtual meeting happening on Tuesday, September 2nd from 7 to 8 p.m., and you are all welcome. Many of you may have noticed the new addition to our staff. Chris is coming on as building manager. He's here today in the kitchen. He's got curly brown hair and glasses and vibrates with energy, which is much needed around these parts. So I hope you'll extend a warm welcome to Chris when you see him. Introduce yourself, let him know that you are there to answer any questions that he might have about the building, but he's on a steep learning curve and doing a really good job so far, and we're so happy to have him to support us in keeping our building beautifully maintained and a welcome and hospitable environment for all of our rentals and all the folks who come in and out every day. Lastly, we are restarting our participation in a program called Family Promise of Philadelphia. How many of you are familiar with Family Promise of Philadelphia from our years past? So it was started as the Interfaith Hospitality Network, but basically the organization located here in Germantown provides emergency temporary shelter for families that are facing immediate homelessness, eviction, homelessness, prioritizing people with small children. And what they do is they work with a network of congregations in Northwest Philadelphia to provide temporary shelter until they can be transitioned into more stable long-term housing, which Family Promise works with them to do. So starting the first week of September, we will be hosting a family of 5 here in the Bristol room, which is downstairs the stairs back at the back of the sanctuary downstairs. That's where our gender-neutral restrooms usually are. It has been sort of a teen hangout space, but starting the first week of September, a family of 5 will be living there. And they'll be sharing our kitchen with us, and they'll be sharing our space with us. They have a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 6-year-old. And you'll notice in the communicator, which is our weekly newsletter, and there's also some information about it in our order of service. We're hoping to welcome we're hoping to welcome the family with some items to make them feel especially known and excited about being here in this strange, cold stone building that they're going to call home for at least 4 weeks. So if you find yourself in a Target or an Aldi or a Family Dollar and you see stuff with Marvel or Princess or rainbows, or I think maybe the 5-year-old is into, what did it say? Paw Patrol. Pick some of that up. We're going to be making welcome baskets for the kids. And there's also some additional needs as we start to outfit that room to help them feel at home. An additional note that I'll probably send a longer communication around is that while they are living down there, our restrooms that are up here, that are accessible to everybody, will become gender neutral for the duration of their stay. Because those are our gender neutral restrooms. These restrooms are going to become gender neutral. We're going to provide them with privacy. We're going to provide them with a place that is their own and not interrupted on Sunday mornings. And we're going to work towards making every restroom here a restroom that anyone can use at any time. So I anticipate some of you, I see some smiles, I see some furrowed brows, I anticipate a few emails. There will be plenty of conversation to be had about this, but know that it is part of our job to welcome this family and make it feel like home for them while they're here. So with that, I think that's the conclusion of my announcements today. Feels fun to be at the pulpit again. I'm going to offer you some words for our call to worship as we enter into this time of interfaith solidarity. I'm so excited to have Hindus for Human Rights today. These words are from David White. It doesn't interest me if there is one God or many gods. I want to know if you belong or you feel abandoned, if you can know despair or can see it in others. I want to know if you are prepared to live in the world with its harsh need to change you. If you can look back with firm eyes saying, "This is where I stand." I want to know if you know how to melt into that fierce heat of living falling toward the center of your longing. I want to know if you are willing to live day by day with the consequence of love and the bitter, unwanted passion of your sure defeat. I have been told in that fierce embrace, even the gods speak of God. So come, let us worship together today.
For today's chalice lighting, we have Evelyn. Please join me in the unison words printed in your order of service as we light our chalice. We light this chalice, the beacon that calls us to love, to justice, to a deepening of the Spirit. And now Ramya Vijaya from Hindus for Human Rights will lead us with the Time for All Ages.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me better? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much to Reverend Hannah and to this congregation for inviting us, sharing your space with us. I'm from Hindus for Human Rights, and I want to share a little bit with you about the festival that we are all gathered to celebrate here today. So Rakhi, or Raksha Bandhan, is celebrated across India and all across the Indian diaspora. It literally means bond of protection. At a time with so much war, suffering, and division in this country and around the world, we would like this Rakhi that we're celebrating today to be a pledge of mutual protection across difference. We keep each other safe. Traditionally, a sister ties a Rakhi, a beautifully decorated thread, on her brother's wrist. And he gives her a gift and pledges to protect her. They share sweets, light a lamp, and pray for their bond. Naturally, in the olden times, this festival had a gendered aspect. But today, Rakhis are tied between sisters and sisters, brothers and brothers, friends, neighbors, colleagues, anyone whose bond matters. Many of Rakhi's most beloved stories come from the Mahabharata, the ancient Hindu epic that tells the story of a great war between two branches of a royal family. The 5 Pandava brothers and their cousins, the 100 Kaurava brothers. Within its vast and complex narrative are episodes that celebrate the bond between siblings, moments of loyalty and protection that have become central to Rakhi traditions. One of the most enduring Rakhi stories from the Mahabharata is about Draupadi, the wife of the Pandava brothers, and Lord Krishna, an avatar of Lord Vishnu and an important deity to Hindus. It begins with a small, almost forgettable moment. Krishna, while handling his weapons, cut his finger. Without hesitation, Draupadi tore a strip from her sari and gently wrapped it around his wound. It was nothing elaborate, no ceremony, no witnesses, just a quick, instinctive act of care. Krishna, moved by this small kindness, vowed in his heart that he would always protect her. There is an unfortunate chapter later in the Mahabharata when the Pandavas gamble away everything, including their kingdom and their wife Draupadi. When their enemies, the Kauravas, begin to dishonor and disrobe Draupadi, Lord Krishna comes to her rescue by providing an endless supply of cloth to cover her, thereby honoring his vow to protect her. But there are also stories where Rakhi was not about protection in war, but it was about preventing a war. The most famous is of Rani Karnavati of Chittor, who, facing invasion, sent a Rakhi to the Mughal Emperor Humayun. Moved by the gesture, he abandoned any thought of hostility and came to her aid. In some village traditions, leaders the colonial divide and rule strategy. We could use that spirit now when lines are hardening everywhere, but often the thread lies slack in our hands and the will to bind it frayed by fear, mistrust, and the habits of division. In contemporary times, Rakhi has continued to evolve with new interpretations and practices that challenge traditional norms and reflect the changing dynamics of society. The practice of sisters tying Rakhis to their sisters has gained popularity recently, symbolizing mutual protection and moving away from the traditional expectation that only brothers can be protectors. This shift reflects a broader challenge to gender roles, and it's part of a growing movement towards equality and empowerment within family structures. Rakhi has also been used as a symbol of solidarity in broader social movements. A notable example is the campaign by women in various parts of India who tied Rakhis to police officers and soldiers as a gesture of peace and nonviolence during protests and communal tensions. In various green movements across India, people have tied Rakhis to trees and environmental landmarks as a pledge to protect nature. Hindus believe that the divine resides equally and identically in everyone, in all people and all aspects of the universe. To us, the heart of Rakhi is to reject the concept of the other and to pledge our protection towards all people, all our brothers and sisters around the world. We keep each other safe on Rakhi and every other day.
Just so you know, if there are kids who want to participate in the CSD program today, it's in Sullivan Chapel. So if you want to, if there are I see some little ones here who might want to participate. They're making potions. I saw dish soap and glue, maybe some sparkles. So just so you know, this would be your moment before we enter into a time of musical reflection.
Thank you. I was going to announce the share the plate. This week's plate is shared with Revived Soldiers Ukraine. Please give generously, as we have found that the more we give away, the more that comes our way. To give in cash or check, please drop in the plate as ushers pass by. To give by text, please follow the instructions on the back cover of your order of service.
Hi, everyone. We are Ragathala Collective. Thank you for welcoming us here. Just wanted to say a little bit about Carnatic music, which is the style of music that we are playing today. It originated in South India, and it is a confluence of many different styles that have kind of come together over the years, including folk music, music that was performed in temples, and it has become kind of systematized over the years and become this classical music form that we have learned and grown up with. And we've tried to put together some compositions, as you probably saw in the program, that are tied to this idea of siblings and protection. So hope you enjoy.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Please rise and body our spirit for our first hymn, number 346. Come sing a song with me. It is in the hardback gray hymnal.
Good morning, friends. My name is Stearns Matthews. My pronouns are he, him, and I have the distinct pleasure of serving this congregation as its Director of Music Ministries. And I invite you to get comfortable. I invite you to do one thing in your physical body sitting in this pew today to get more comfortable. And now I invite you to do one more thing. And now I invite you into the spirit of prayer. This is called For All That Is Our Life. It's by Liz Weber. Spirit of life, help us to be present with all that is our life, both our deepest sorrows and our greatest joys, so that we can truly live, engaging fully in our own life and in our community. Spirit of community, help us to know how linked we are, how each one of our cares touches us all. Help us to ask for support when we're in need and offer our support to others when we are able, so that we may rest in the solace of one another's love. Spirit of love, help us to love our neighbor as we love ourselves, so that we might fully embody love and resist hatred. Spirit of resistance, help us to stick up for what is right, even when we are tired or afraid. Help us to dream of the world as it should be and act to bring that world about. Help us to find hope each day. Spirit of hope, help us through this day and each day. Help us to be present for all that is our life. For all this we pray, amen, and blessed be.
For the reading today, I have selected a song that was a favorite of Mahatma Gandhi, Vaishnava Janato. And I'm very grateful that you don't have to listen to my non-singing voice, but you'll be able to hear the wonderful melody with our musicians today. This song is a 15th century poem by the Gujarati poet Narsi Mehta. The poem describes the qualities of a true person of God or a truly good human being. If we embody the altruistic values described by the poem in our lives, we will inevitably see all people as our siblings and see it as our dharma or moral duty to protect each other. Vaishnava Janato. Call those people Vaishnavas or good people who feel the pain of others, help those who are in misery, but never let self-conceit enter their mind. Call those people Vaishnavas or good people who respect and praise the entire world. They do not disparage anyone, keep their words, actions, and thoughts pure. The mothers of such souls are blessed. Call those people Vaishnavas who see all equally, renounce craving and greed, respect other women as their own mothers. Their tongue never utters false words. Their hands never touch the wealth of others. They do not succumb to worldly attachments. They're firmly detached from the mundane. They're enticed by only the name of God, Rama. All places of pilgrimage are embodied in them. They have forsaken greed and deceit. They stay far from lust and anger. Narsi says, I would be grateful to meet such a soul whose virtue liberates their entire lineage. Hello, everyone. I guess it's time for a more formal introduction now. I'm Ramya Vijaya. I use she, her pronouns. Once again, I'm very, very honored and grateful to share the space, share our stories with you. I'm here today as a board member of Hindus for Human Rights, but in my other life, I'm actually a college professor of economics. A few years ago, I would never have envisioned speaking outside the comforts of academia, particularly publicly identifying a faith perspective and sharing faith stories. But my journey here today is informed and inspired by our organization. So in the time that we have together, I would like to share a little bit about our organization and our trajectory. Hindus for Human Rights is a 6-year-old organization. And along the way, we have been helped by several other interfaith communities. We have, in fact, partnered with several other Unitarian Universalist congregations in other parts of the country. So I know that all of you will agree with me that the most important application of faith is to uphold social justice. That is certainly the spirit of our organization. At Hindus for Human Rights, we work for pluralism and human rights in South Asia and North America, drawing on core principles from Hindu thought while standing in solidarity with people of all faith and none. These principles include Shanti, peace, Nyaya, justice, and Satya, or truth. We use them to challenge both caste discrimination, a birth-based hierarchy not unlike the racial segregation and inherited privilege many here know from American history, but also Hindutva, a form of Hindu nationalism that seeks to define India only for certain Hindus while excluding minorities, silencing dissent, and enforcing a narrow vision of belonging. This mirrors the rise of ethno-nationalist movements in the US and globally, which target immigrants, religious minorities, and LGBTQ people. Our vision, inspired by Loka Sangraha, or the universal common good, is a world where all people live in peace and the earth itself is treated with reverence and care. When we celebrate Hindu festivals, whether it is Raksha Bandhan or the fall festival of lights Diwali, we are guided by this mission and vision. There are three main pillars to our work. We are Hindus opposed to Hindu nationalism. We are Hindus opposed to caste in all its forms. And we are Hindus whose faith and conscience compel us to address the human rights crises of our times. From the unfolding genocide in Palestine to the decimation of democracy here in the United States. In many ways, our fight against Hindu nationalism was the impetus for our founding. India, home to more than 1 billion Hindus, has been ruled by Hindu nationalists since 2014. Narendra Modi has been Prime Minister since then, but long before his election, he was a leader in the Hindu nationalist movement, which took its cues from European fascism in the 1920s. The RSS, the organization he grew up in, idealized Mussolini, harbored Gandhi's assassin, and once wrote, "We should do to India's Muslims what is being done to Europe's Jews." As Modi and his followers oppress India's religious minorities, dismantle democratic institutions, and privilege Hindus above all others, we feel compelled as Hindus of conscience to say, "Not in our name." The fight against Hindutva is urgent, no doubt, but for progressive Hindus, the complete rejection of caste is our first duty. The caste system, which dates back thousands of years and is codified in our oldest scriptures, is an urgent injustice. To reverse such an entrenched atrocity like caste, which persists not only in Hindu communities in India and around the world, but also in Muslim, Christian, Sikh, and other religious communities, is a gargantuan task. However, it begins with a heartfelt promise, our pledge to reject caste entirely and never perpetrate caste discrimination, not in our name. And as people of conscience, we respond to the moral crises of our time. Several in our organization, including myself, have traveled to Palestine to provide protective presence, and because of a moral sense of responsibility as Americans. We were active on student encampments last year, doing teach-ins about religious nationalism, both Hindu and Jewish. And we have been tireless in our call for a ceasefire and for food, aid, and water to flood Gaza instead of weapons and death. We have protested ICE raids, disappearances without due process, and the cruelty directed at immigrants, remembering our prayer, Atiti Devo Bhava, the guest or stranger is God. It is important to know that the crisis of Hindu nationalism is not a crisis just in India. It is a crisis throughout the diaspora, including in the United States. Every community in the United States, including the Indian and Hindu communities, have a marked trend towards the far right. there was an 8% increase in Hindus voting for Trump in the last election. The Hindus that Trump has named to his cabinet, including Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel, are staunch Hindu nationalists. There were Hindu nationalists amongst those who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. And if all of that doesn't make it clear, think of this. White Christian supremacist Steve Bannon is an honorary chair of the Hindu Republican Coalition. Hindutva, or Hindu nationalism, is a threat to democracy and human rights and human thriving in India and here in the United States. Hindutva is so much the mainstream in Hindu society, even here in the United States, that these words that I'm sharing with you today are likely seen as anti-Hindu by many in my own community. And yet, it is our duty as people of conscience and faith to speak the truth, Satya. And the truth is that we are in crisis, social, political, and spiritual crisis. We must connect our social, political, and spiritual lives to social justice, that is, justice for all. And so we say, not in our name, we keep each other safe. This Rakhi, we see everyone who's suffering, struggling, oppressed as our sibling and pledge to them the bond of eternal protection. After this service, we will all have the opportunity to make entire Rakhis on each other. We hope you will join us and we can honor this beautiful festival by seeing each other as siblings to whom we pledge mutual commitment of protection. Rakhi's essence is the deliberate recognition of kinship. The act of tying a thread is a way of saying, we were born of the same place, shaped by the same human soil, and I choose to give that shared origin primacy over all divisions. It is a decision to honor, respect, and protect one another as siblings, whether bound by blood or by choice. In our time, that choice can mean pledging to defend all who are targeted, whether by Hindutva, white supremacy, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, racism, or political violence. It can mean standing beside Palestinians and Israelis working for peace, Hindus and Muslims in India defending each other, and here in the United States, refusing to look away when ICE raids tear families apart. Seeing those at risk not as strangers, but as kin. This is not sentimentality, and I know I have to struggle with that when my hyper-rational economist brain tries to dominate. But ritual makes promises visible. Promises kept make human rights real. And human rights at their heart. So today, as we tie Rakhis, we can pledge to keep each other safe from harm. We can speak up when one of us is targeted. We can pledge to share what we have. We can pledge to defend each other's dignity. We can pledge to reject any call to war against our neighbors. May our Rakhis be as strong as Draupadi's bond with Krishna, as brave as Rani Karnavati's appeal to Humayun, and as bold as Tagore's streets of unity. Because sometimes the smallest thread can hold the greatest peace. A single strand in the right hands can bind together what conflict has torn apart. Because peace, much like a thread, is both small enough to slip between your fingers and yet strong enough to hold a world together. Thank you.
Please join us in our closing hymn, number 131, Love Will Guide Us. It's in the gray hardback hymnal. Evelyn, are you here to extinguish the chalice? All right, thank you. Please join us with our closing words as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish our chalice, but the flame remains in us as we live into the mission of this congregation, building beloved community with compassion, service, and empowerment.
I feel moved by the words of solidarity across borders and continents and oceans. The long-held truth spoken by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King that a threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I was reminded even of our interfaith connection with the words that are on our chancel here from Mark 12:30. And with all thy strength thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Gandhi said, I know myself as a Hindu when you know yourself as a Christian. I more fully know myself as a Hindu when you more fully know yourself as a Christian. This is a fellowship hour as we tie on some rakhi, enjoy some food, and be together. Blessed be and amen.
you. Thank you. This was a lot of fun. No, no. Yeah. Thank you. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you.